In a quiet valley far from cities and crowds, where the morning mist kissed the tops of the hills and birds sang before sunrise, there stood an apple tree. She wasn't the tallest tree in the forest, nor the grandest. Her bark had cracks, her roots were crooked, and her branches leaned slightly toward the east where the sun rose every morning. But her leaves shimmered like emeralds, and her red apples gleamed like jewels in the sunlight. And most importantly, the tree had a friend, a little boy. Every morning, the boy would come running down the hill with his hair messy and his laughter echoing through the valley. "Tree! Tree, look what I found!" he would shout, showing her a smooth pebble, a shiny feather, or sometimes nothing at all, just his wide grin. And the tree would sway her branches gently and whisper, "Come, my boy. Come climb up and play." The boy would climb her trunk, swinging from her branches, hanging upside down as if the whole world belonged to them. He would eat her apples, big, red, and sweet, wiping the juice off his chin with the back of his hand. When he got tired, he would lie down in her shade, and the tree would spread her leaves wide to keep the sun off his face. The boy would talk to her about everything, his dreams of sailing across the ocean, of building castles, of becoming rich and brave. The tree listened. She didn't speak much, but she understood, and she was happy. Because when the boy was there, she wasn't just a tree. She was his world. Time, however, is a quiet thief. Seasons changed, and the boy began to visit less often. One autumn, when her leaves had turned gold and the wind sang softly through her branches, the boy came walking down the hill, slower now. "No longer running? Hello, tree," he said, resting against her trunk. "Hello?" "Boy," she said, rustling her leaves with joy. "Come and climb me! Swing from my branches. Eat my apples and be happy." But the boy shook his head. "I'm not a little boy anymore. I don't climb trees. I want to buy things and have fun. I want money." The tree was quiet for a while. She didn't know what money was, but she wanted to help. "Take my apples," she said gently. "Sell them in the market. Then you'll have money, and you'll be happy." The boy's eyes brightened. "Really, tree? You'll give me your apples?" "Of course," she said, shaking her branches until the apples fell around him like rain. The boy gathered them up and ran down the hill, his arms full, and the tree was happy. But as the days passed, she realized the boy didn't come back. And though she was happy to have helped him, she felt the silence more than ever. Years passed. The tree waited through the summers and winters, her branches growing bare and her roots deeper into the earth. One afternoon, she heard footsteps, slower, heavier, and she recognized them instantly. "Boy," she cried, her voice trembling with joy. "You've come back. Come climb me and swing from my branches." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the man. His face was older now, his hands rough. "I need a house to keep me warm. I want a wife, children. Can you give me a house?" The tree thought for a while. "I don't have a house," she said softly. "But you can cut off my branches and build one. Then you'll be happy." The man looked up at her branches, strong, long, stretching toward the sky. He fetched his axe. The sound of chopping filled the valley. Branch after branch fell to the ground, leaving the tree bare against the wind. When the man was done, he smiled, patted her trunk, and said, "Thank you, tree." He carried the branches away, and the tree, though hurt and smaller now, whispered to the empty air, and the tree was happy. But in the silence that followed, a single leaf drifted down and landed on the ground, a quiet tear from her heart. The seasons turned like pages in a book. The boy grew older, and the tree stood waiting, through storms and drought, through days when the sky turned silver with snow and nights when the stars seemed too far away. She missed his laughter, the warmth of his hands, the weight of his body climbing her trunk. Then, one summer morning, the boy came again, but he was not a boy anymore. His hair had turned gray and his back was bent. He looked tired. "Tree," he said softly, "I'm tired of the city, tired of people. I want to go far away, to sail across the ocean and never come back. Can you help me?" The tree trembled, her trunk bare and broken. "I don't have apples," she said. "You took them." "I don't have branches. You cut them down. I don't even have leaves to shade you, but," she whispered, her voice soft as the breeze, My trunk is still strong. Cut it down and build yourself a boat. Then you can sail away and be happy." The man hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Thank you, tree." He took his saw and cut her trunk. It was slow and painful, and when it was over, all that remained of her was a stump. He dragged the wood away, piece by piece, and built himself a small boat. He waved once from the hilltop before he disappeared into the horizon. And the tree was happy. But not really. Children no longer came to play. The grass grew tall around the old stump, and moss crept over her roots. The sun rose and set, and still she waited. Sometimes she thought she heard his footsteps again, but it was only the wind. Sometimes she dreamed that maybe he'd planted one of her apples somewhere far away, and that a new tree was growing there, one that gave shade to a child the way she once did, even in her stillness. Even without her branches, the tree loved the boy, and she waited. One winter's evening, when the sky was red with sunset and snow began to fall, the boy came back, but now he was very old, his hair white, his face marked with time. His eyes were soft but tired. "Tree," he whispered. Her voice, faint but still full of warmth, replied, "My boy." "You came back. I'm sorry," he said, sinking down beside her stump. "I've taken so much from you. I took your apples, your branches, your trunk. I left you with nothing." The tree rustled gently, a sound like forgiveness. "You never took my love," she said softly. "And that's what I had most to give," he smiled weakly. "I don't need much anymore," he said. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest." "Then," said the tree, "my stump is good for sitting. Come sit down, my boy, and rest." The old man sat down on her stump, sighing as the weight of his life seemed to lift for the first time. The cold wind blew through the valley, but he didn't feel it. The tree felt his warmth one last time, the warmth she had waited for all those years. And in that silence, as the last light of the day faded away, the tree was happy, truly happy. The giving tree isn't just about a tree and a boy. It's about love, sacrifice, and the quiet beauty of giving. The tree never asked for anything in return. She gave because she loved. She gave her fruit, her shade, her branches, her trunk, and finally, the space she had left, her stump, just to bring happiness to the one she loved. The boy represents all of us, growing up, chasing dreams, taking from the world without always remembering who gave to us in the first place. The tree is every parent who gives without limit. She is nature itself, offering everything, the air we breathe, the food we eat, the shade we rest under, and asking for nothing but our respect and love. The story reminds us that kindness is not measured by how much we give, but by how much heart we put into giving. True kindness asks for nothing in return. It simply gives, and that is its greatest power. When Shel Silverstein wrote The Giving Tree, many saw it as a children's story. But it's not just for children. It's a mirror for adults too, showing how love can be both beautiful and painful, how giving can bring both joy and emptiness, and how relationships change as we grow. Every phase of the boy's life mirrors our own journey. As children, we take joy in the world, freely, innocently. As adults, we begin to want things, wealth, comfort, often forgetting the simple joys we once knew. As the elderly, we remember and return, searching for peace in the things we left behind, and the tree, patient, selfless, enduring, shows us what unconditional love truly looks like. Long after the boy was gone, the valley grew silent again. But one spring morning, something stirred near the stump. A small green shoot, tender and new, pushed its way out of the earth beside her roots. The stump, though old and cracked, could feel it, a whisper of life, a promise of tomorrow. Birds began to return, singing softly. The wind carried the scent of new blossoms, and though the old tree could no longer see or speak, she could feel the heartbeat of life continuing through that little sprout. Because love, real love, never truly dies. It takes root, grows again, and gives once more, and somewhere, far away, maybe another little boy found an apple, red and sweet. and smiled, and the world, for a moment, was kind again. Moral: true kindness gives without expecting anything in return.